everybody. Thanks for joining Cook with Jim. Today we're going to be baking a German's chocolate cake. German's chocolate cake got its name from the man who created the chocolate, Sam German. He created a dark chocolate sweet bar back in 1852. So let's get over to the kitchen and get started on making this German's chocolate cake. Okay, so let's get started on this German's chocolate cake. The first thing we have to do is to take our softened butter. The butter has been sitting out all day, or not all day, for about 3 hours, getting it soft. Put it here in the mixer. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this butter and mix it with the sugar. They call it creaming it together. So we're going to cream this butter and sugar together before we add our dry ingredients. Okay. Go ahead and take our flour. We're going to go ahead and sift it. And I gotta put my baking soda, my baking powder, and my salt in here. And this is the regular cake flour, not all-purpose flour. The reason I use regular cake flour is because it's got less gluten than all-purpose flour, and that should translate into a lighter and fluffier cake. Just sift this. Okay, so we have our baker's chocolate out. We've already sifted the flour, so now we need to take this chocolate. We're going to cut it up into pieces. And what we're going to do is nuke this for, it'll probably take no longer than a couple minutes, but we'll nuke it. We're going to just chop it up into pieces here. And this chocolate, this German's chocolate, will get added into the flour and butter mixture. We got our flour mixture here, we got our buttermilk here, and we're just going to add a little bit of each at a time. Okay, now that that's all in there, we're going to turn it back on. We're going to add in the chocolate. You see it's starting to look more like a cake batter. Cake pans that I already have pre-greased, and they're pre-lined with parchment paper at the bottom. Obviously, you just try to eyeball it to get it as even as possible. Cake is baking in the oven. We're going to go ahead and start the coconut and pecan filling for the German's chocolate cake. It's put in our 4 egg yolks, and we put in our vanilla and our milk. To put to put the butter in, and stick it in half in butter. And like I said, we're going to let this reduce down into a caramel, and it'll take about 10 to 15 minutes. As you can see, it looks really good, and it tastes good. I got a clean spoon here, so look, this is what you're looking for, consistency. See how it is on the back of the spoon? You want it to be thick like that, because as it cools, it's going to thicken up more. Put that in there. And then we'll just mix this around with our spoon. You can see it thickening up. Okay, so now we're going to cut this in half. If you have a long red knife, you can do it that way too. You will divide your coconut and pecan spread into thirds. There will be a third used for each layer. So you put a layer of cake, a layer of spread, and then another layer of cake, and then another layer of spread, and then the top layer will be the spread. Chop up 1 bar of Baker's semi-sweet chocolate. This chocolate will be placed into a heat-proof glass bowl. This bowl will be put on top of a pan that has 2 inches of water in it. This will be used as a double boiler. This water will boil. Into that glass bowl with the chocolate, add 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. And while you have it on a stove, stir it continuously and watch till it does not overboil. And be very careful because this will get very hot. Now that you have your chocolate ganache ready, you can see it shining and glistening in the light. That means you've got the chocolate right. What we are going to do now is take this and drizzle this over the German chocolate cake that has the coconut and pecan spread. You want to just drizzle it however you want to. I use I can use a fork. I use whatever is available to me. But however you want to spread it, just drizzle it across, back and forth until you get the thing covered, the cake covered with the chocolate, and then you will be set to go. And this is a very rich cake and not for anybody on a diet. Trust me.